Hello and welcome to this video where we'll look at cropping and resizing in Photoshop. So like I said, cropping is a process of basically cutting off parts of the image and also with Photoshop, actually extending parts of the image. Photoshop can help you out with that. But basically we're just trying to resize an image and also not so much just resize as well, but sort of fit to a certain size. And so, obviously, this comes up quite a bit in the print shop. We say a customer says, "Oh, I want to, make this image, but stretch it out this way." Well, it's easier said than done, right? Because sometimes you can't just quite stretch things out. There's just not the content there. But let's take a look here. So what we're going to do is take this image. So I'm going to copy this. We will just sort of play around a little bit with it. So the crop tool we'll use, we'll sort of just play around with the different sizes, the ways you can do it. You can rotate it as well. If things aren't they're not quite level, you can use the crop tool to sort of level things out. You can choose specific sizes or ratios if you need. And then we can also use a little bit of content aware to extend it out. So we'll sort of see what happens here. Okay, so I'm going to go to Photoshop, open a new one. This time I'm going to use it off the clipboard because I copied that image, and Control V. So this is a very upright picture. You can kind of come down here as well, and you can see sort of the width and the height there, right? If you sort of click on it, unfortunately it doesn't give you the, let's just see, yeah, it doesn't sort of show you the actual, that's the size of it. What I was looking for is actually the measurements in terms of inches, but yeah, it doesn't quite show us there. But anyways, what we've got, RBC, or sorry, RGB, there we go. Put it back to where it was. So what we've got here, though, is our crop tool. So it looks like a little bit of a kind of ruler thing. And you can see you can bring it down. Like I was mentioning, you can kind of rotate things. In this case, like I said, you wouldn't want to do that. But if the picture had been taken slightly off the level, this is something that you could use to sort of straighten it out. All right. It kind of shows where, the part of the picture has disappeared. You can do that. As I was mentioning up here, there is the ratio. So you can go and set it to square. I guess that's like an Instagram kind of thing, right? You could set it so that it's a 5:7 in that sense. Okay, and so on. So yeah, that's just sort of the crop tool. And basically all you do once you sort of, oh, okay, this is what I want. And actually this is kind of neat here, right? Sort of bringing it, and you can sort of bring it around. So actually the picture moves around, okay? And then you can get it in and so on. So if I wanted something like that, for example, these here, these lines are what's called the rule of thirds. It's a good idea to sort of learn a little bit about the rule of thirds. One thing that you don't usually want is everything sort of in the center, okay, depending on your use here. So you might want it off, a little bit off center or so on. That actually often works better for an image, not sort of, putting everything directly sort of centered right in the middle there. Okay, but anyways, if this is what you wanted, you just press the Enter key. Let me just get off here. And now it's been cropped down to that, okay? Now, one thing that I will show you here is if we tried to do that 5:7 again, but we wanted it to do it this way. And let's just sort of move this up. And let's just say we wanted to get a little bit more of that image. Okay. But obviously, with this big blue beside it, we've got some issues. So let's just say I wanted to do this. So I wanted to have it, again, not right in the center, but off. But I need to have this here. There is actually an ability, and let's move this little thing over here, that says content aware. And so when you crop it with that on, it will actually fill this in. Now, the caveat, of course, is that if it's a really busy background or whatever, it doesn't always work out very well. Although as the AI gets better, I'm sure it will get better and better here. But if we do this with a relatively simple background, sort of, there is some texture here on the table, but it's not bad. If we do that, let's just see. And it's thinking. Magically, it has created some pixels. Now, I do see some repetitiveness here. So yeah, it probably isn't 100% realistic. but it might not be too bad depending on your situation. And really, that's all there is to say about the crop tool. It's relatively straightforward, and it gives you the ability, like I said, to cut back on the picture, to frame the picture how you want, and then also with the content aware, gives you the ability to sort of add pixels to the image. Now, you can try a little bit more with this one. This one, again, very nice because it is a regular background. If you have something like this and you're trying to crop, you are going to run into a little bit of an issue because the background isn't quite as, how do I say it, as simple, right? So it's got to figure out what to do with the lemons and so on. But you can explore with that.